Hello, my name is Barbara Campbell Thomas. I'm a professor of art in the School of Art, and I teach all levels, first year through graduate student drawing and painting classes. I had a really rough year teaching wise, the 2021-2022 academic year. I'm sure that sounds familiar to many of you. It definitely was a year that I finished up and felt utterly depleted and really just, after 20 some years of teaching, felt like I had just hit a real low point. And I was not looking forward to coming back in fall 2022. So, of course, I did. And I was teaching a class that is an advanced drawing class. It's a 400 level class. And for these students, essentially their research is their creative work, which is original creative work, in which they are trying to figure out how to give the most appropriate form to the ideas that they are working with. It's the hardest work, of course, that they do during their entire time here at school. And it's a class that very much stresses working in the studio, working a lot in the studio, making a lot of work. And my job as their teacher is to be helping them along that journey. And traditionally when I teach this class, I move between classes where I am talking to them individually in their studio spaces about what's going on. And then I will have classes where we are looking at work, talking about work, reading things together. And this semester, I really privileged, more than usual, the one-on-one conversations that I was having with my students. So way more than usual. And so I ended up taking out some of the kinds of activities, the readings of certain articles I still had them present, but they were fewer because I decided to really privilege these one-on-one conversations where I was talking to these students about, what exactly was in front of us, how things were working, what was working well, what was not working well, how could they go deeper and deeper into this work. And I had one of the best advanced drawing classes that I've ever taught in terms of the depth of the creative work that these students were making, the sophistication, the amount of work. They, filled multiple walls of drawings. And I just was deeply struck by the level of engagement, by the level of excitement, by the level of commitment that was happening in that class. And, some of it I think is attributable to the nature of this particular class community. But I just really learned that, talking one-on-one to my students, of course, is critically important. And I really believe that the kind of depth that we were able to go to in the conversations that we would have and the ways in which, they were weekly, successive, over the course of the semester had a huge impact on the kind of thinking that they were able to do and the ways in which I just knew what they were doing as artists, as young artists, so clearly and fully. And so my big takeaway is, as much as possible, make space for one-on-one conversation with students. And the ways in which I think that inspires them and really calls them to go to a deeper place because they really feel how much, I think they really felt how much what they were doing was important, how much I valued it. So that's my big takeaway.